Hello YouTube, John Matrix here. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day when you catch this video. Today we've got another Breaking Down the Fights video here for you. This is a series I do where I go back through and break down the various fights that I had and go over my thought process and talk about what I did, what I should have done, what I could have done better, etc, etc. Today we've got one in Apex Legends. I'm climbing up the Apex ranked ladder here this season. I'm going to try to hit Masters. Today, this video, we're currently in a silver lobby, and I had a really good 12 kill Wraith victory game, so I just wanted to go back through and break everything down. So we drop into Skull Town with a few other teams, and we have an initial landing fight here that we end up cleaning up.
That's the last of that squad.
So after that initial cleanup, one of the other teams ends up pushing us, and they end up engaging another team, but we end up falling back to the south side of the new Skull Town area, resetting, looting up, and then going to try to third party that fight.
There, Valkyrie.
Here's one mine.
Broker, she's flashing.
Crack one. Newcastle right here. Hey, Bloodhound's real low.
Down him.
I'm dead.
So at this point in the fight, the Valkyrie that was on the roof I had broke, and I had hit several times for flesh. So as far as I know, she's weak and is out of the fight at the moment. She's got to be backed up and healing. I've managed to down one of the enemy teammates, a Bloodhound, but my teammate has also been down. And I see in front of me a Newcastle wall. So my thought process at the moment is there's a Newcastle up, and the Valkyrie is probably backed up to where that Newcastle wall is and is healed up or is in the process of healing up as well. My teammate that's down is in a bad position. He's got cover at the moment, but it's not good cover. It's not cover enough to where I can actually go and stick a res. So I've made the decision at this point to just dip into the building, try to hunt down the Bloodhound, see if I can finish him off so that there's a box that we can shield swap for if we need to.
Valkyrie's right there. Valkyrie's right on my marker. Exactly on my marker. He's using a shield battery. He's using a shield battery. Good stuff, boys.
That was the last one.
So after I kill that Valkyrie, I get the notification that team's been eliminated. But obviously there's still a Newcastle wall there, so another team has to be around. I don't know exactly where at the moment, but at this point I've decided that we got to stick the rest here. My other teammate, the Octane, is looking up ahead and ends up getting into a bit of a fight here as I go for the res. But at this point, I just decided to stick the res. We need to get him back up and try to get him back into the fight and get healed up. So I stick the res and I manage to get the teammate up, but a member of an enemy team ends up pushing us, re-downing my teammate. Luckily, he was already weak, his shields were down, so I was able to down him, dip back into the building here, heal up a little bit, and then I go to res my teammate again. As I'm resing the teammate, I can hear someone on the right side of the building coming back to the back door behind us, so I end up going out the front door over here to the side left and go around to try to flank.
Why did I get stuck?
So as I'm coming out here to do this flank, I do hesitate for a minute and I kind of look around to try to see if I can get some more information. We don't have anyone up on our team that has any kind of scan capabilities, so I don't really have any information on who's up, who's pushing. I've seen a Newcastle wall, so I knew there's a Newcastle wall around. I've seen Bangalore smoke, so I know there's a Bangalore around somewhere. So I don't know who and how many people are pushing. I look around for a minute, I don't see anyone, so I just decide to commit to the flank.
Man, that's a decoy.
I downed an enemy.
What are you doing? He's right there.
Last member's down. One squad closer to winning.
So it ends up just being a single Mirage from a completely different team that ends up pushing us. I get the good counter flank on him and take him down, clean him up. As the circle's closing in, I clean up a Bloodhound and a Loba, which are the last members of his team, clean up that team, which was a completely different team. No idea what happened to the Newcastle or the Bangalore that we saw earlier. They must have been a part of a completely different team, and they dipped out as the circle was closing in, or they might have been killed by this last team here. But I end up getting my teammates banner, looting a little bit, and then we proceed on into the safe zone. So the circle's pushed us up towards bunker. We're in this little choke point here. We're healing up, and we got a teammate that needs to get rest. I see that the res point over by bunker hasn't been used yet, and as I'm getting ready to go there after healing up, I hear teams start fighting. So obviously, that means that's off limits. If we go there and try to res, we're just going to get pushed and get killed, etc., etc. So at this point, the only other res spot that's closest to us is the point in the very center of the map, this little compound that's in between capacitor, bunker, and containment. So the only option we really have is to go through here, and hopefully there's no teams fighting along the way, so we can get there, res our teammate, get him back in, and try to get some loot. So we make our way to this compound to res our teammate, and as we get there, there's two teams that are fighting at this compound just straight to the east of us, but at this point we don't really have a choice, so I just stick to res. Hopefully they're busy with each other and they don't rush us as he's coming down. As I get him spawned in, he does let us know that one of the enemy teams is turning toward us, so I Wraith portal us out there and head down towards containment. As we're heading down toward containment, I can see teams fighting up at artillery. I can also see other teams fighting at the little choke point area that leads into containment between bunker and pit. So at this point in time, the only option I really see that we have is to try to squeeze through all these teams and get to the spotted lake area up there. As it's still in the zone, it's right at the edge of the zone, and hope that it's not been looted so my teammate can get some loot here and we can gear back up and reset and get ready to engage at the final circle. So that's what we end up doing. So from the end of that initial fight down there at Skulltown where I cleaned up that team, all the way up through the entire map, we got our team rezzed, we avoided several teams, we were able to slip through some other teams getting down through containment, and we've made it up to Spotted Lake. We got our teammate rezzed up, he's looted up, and we're prepared for the end game now.
So, I
think there's a team on the other side of us right here.
The only thing I'm lacking right now is shield, so
Hostile over there.
I'll get cracked. I'm not gonna be in the
shield
greatest
too.
Shield cell here.
I can give you those 4 cells.
This could get interesting. We're already in the ring. Guess I'm running circles for fun.
Heads up. Care package coming in.
Team coming down on us?
Oh.
Target over there.
Probably killed him.
So it ends up being a great call to go up there to Spotted Lake, not only to get our teammate looted up as it was unlooted, but it's also at the edge of the circle. So as we're coming into the final zone and getting in position, we don't necessarily really have to worry about teams coming up from behind us. As the team's coming up the hill right here, we're getting ready to get in a position to ambush them, and another team ends up coming in from Jump Tower or Valcult, and they end up colliding with each other and fighting, and so we end up getting to third party on these teams.
Their team fighting up there.
What we science folk call a baddie.
Third party that. That's we'll need to go third party that. Right here.
Broken enemy shield.
Got him.
Reloading. Enemy here. Tossing Thermite. Arcstar.
Whole squad's down. You made the right choices.
So after cleaning up that last team, there's only 4 enemy squads left, and there's one of them that I can see right in front of me that's bunkered down behind a Newcastle wall, and there's another team that I've seen that's been going in and out trying to harass them as well to that entrance over there at artillery. So from where I'm at, we have a decent position. There's some death boxes around here, so if we need to, we can use it for shield swapping, picking up cells, meds, you know, ammo, etc., etc.
Being shot at. Broken enemy shield.
Correct. He's really low. Vantage is really low.
Thermite grenade. The shield's recharged. Just a tank. Heal it up.
So as we push up to harass this Newcastle team, they end up just kind of backing up around the corner there. They just sit behind the Newcastle wall. They don't really engage. This team that's in between here and artillery is not engaging. So the fight just ends up stalling, and we end up having another team coming up and harassing us from behind that we end up having to turn around and engage.
Good. Another squad is attacking us.
Getting shot from behind now.
Really low. Horizon super low.
Shields recharged.
You gonna finish it?
Phasing.
We're already inside the next ring.
So we end up turning, and it ends up being a pretty easy cleanup. They start shooting us from behind. Bangalore throws out an ult after the Horizon up there, and enemy Horizon had thrown out her ult. So I ended up queuing to, avoid the Bangalore ult, get set up in position, wait for them to come around the corner. They do, drop one. My teammate finishes the other one off. Luckily, the other teams, for whatever reason, decided not to push in and try to engage us. Most likely because the Newcastle team didn't see the team that was sitting in artillery come out, and they didn't want to try to push us and get third-partied. So thankfully, those two teams kind of stalled each other out, and we didn't end up getting rushed in the middle of that fight. So after that fight, I ended up snagging a Kraber out of a supply drop that came down, and I see the Newcastle team had moved up. Take a shot, miss my shot, alert the team that the Newcastle team is repositioned, and so we end up moving around and reposition accordingly.
We need to destroy that.
Go around this way.
An enemy. Look, shall we head this way?
Actually, there might be somebody here though, so be careful.
I got a hooligan over here.
There's 3 teams. There's 2 squads remain.
Firing. I cracked that hooligan.
He's really low right here.
Outside our orbit. Reload. Shield.
Listening up with y'all.
So it seems like the Newcastle team ended up getting a mobile spawn beacon in and res the teammates somewhere. So in response, I end up taking the high ground. I have a Kraber and I have a good vantage point. So if I see anyone moving around, I should be able to get some shots off. And as you can see, they set up a Newcastle wall outside there, but ended up backing up into the building. My teammate ends up going in there, pushing in, and I end up following, and we end up cleaning up the Newcastle team.
After, if we get stuck, we can just launch pad out.
10 seconds. The ring's close.
They just loboed.
Over there, I think.
Hey, cracked in here. Dead. Below, they're all below.
Another squad. Engaging. Sergeant, on my
Yeah, they're in there, they're in there, they're in there.
Dead.
all those hooligans are dead.
Nothing.
We're away. Pick me up, pals. Bad boss are shooting at me.
Hey, one's really low. Hey, rush up top. One's really low. They're both cracked.
Reloading.
Both cracked. Hey, come on. Hey, James, help him.
No, I'm coming around.
Ring's not.
So I ended up having a little bit of confusion and some hesitation there, as when I'm hearing the audio, I feel like I'm seeing, I should be seeing people in front of me, but they're up to the right. And I ADS my teammate, his name doesn't show up, so I'm thinking it's an enemy. I take some shots, and then I realize it's my teammate. So I get a little kerfuffled here at this engagement. And then at the same time, my teammate ends up going down. He's letting me know that both of them are cracked, but I don't really have a good way to get up to him. So I'm kind of trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. Do I want to push in at him? Do I not want to push it at him? End up hesitating, and both of them end up coming at me. I end up cracking one of them. Luckily, I'm able to wraith away and get some space between us, heal up, and kind of reset.
Too far.
Hey, give me.
My shields.
James, get me.
I can't believe I'm standing still. You're lucky I like you. I'm using a Phoenix.
We're close to the ring. Firing.
Help me.
So I missed a shot on the Vantage coming up there with the Kraber, and I spray a little bit, get him with the flatline, get a little bit of shots on him, but there's one person on my team who's just been res, so he's basically one shot. He goes down again. And at this point, it's a 1v2 situation in there for the Octane that's on my team. And I'm thinking about whether or not I want to actually push in and help him. It's kind of selfish for me not to, but at the same time, I do have a Kraber, and I'm pretty confident with the Kraber. So if I can stay in this position where I have space and I have some cover, You know, if they push out at me, I should be able to get a good headshot on one of them, drop one of them, and then it's a 1v1, and I should be able to finish the job. So at this point in time, the decision really just comes down to, do I push in or do I sit back and try to pick them off with the Kraber?
James.
Down one.
Dude, stem.
Enemy
Mark
shot.
one.
Yes, bro. Thank God.
So as you can see, the Octane ends up down on one of them. He gets down himself, but he ends up weakening the Loba enough to where it's an easy cleanup for me. So just pushed in, finished off the Loba, and we come out with the dub. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. I do enjoy doing these breaking down the fights videos. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments what you guys saw that I could do better, you know, different, improved on, etc, etc. Always like to hear what you guys have to say about that. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed the content, do consider leaving a like and a sub. Would appreciate it. It does help the channel. If you did enjoy this content and you want to watch it live, you can always check me out over on my Twitch at twitch.tv/JohnMatrixTV. And I've also got a Twitter, so if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can be alerted when I've got new YouTube videos out, when I'm going live on Twitch, you know, all that good stuff. And that is at JohnMatrixTV on Twitter. So thanks again, guys. Appreciate you checking out, taking your time out to watch the video. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I'll see you all on the next one.